I'm testing out electrolytes and I'm struggling to find a flavour. Oh no, it's very, do you know the problem is? I don't like salt. I don't like salty food, so therefore electrolytes, which are salts, do not taste good to me. Welcome to today's video. Last video, thank you so much for all the love on it, because it seemed to resonate with a lot of you, and it was basically me saying how to actually do a body recomposition, how to actually transform your body and what worked for me, etc. If you haven't watched that video, please go back and watch it, because I feel like body recomposition is something that everybody needs to know about. If you're trying to change your body shape, if you're trying to like get lean, get toned, get fit, get healthy, build some muscle mass, but like small waist, big bum vibes, body recomposition, okay? It's not about weight loss, it is about body reshaping 101. So with that, I wanted to actually do a video now on how I actually built my glutes, because I was born and kept a pancake ass for about 20 years. I was not blessed with a bum, and it's funny how I get reminded of it really easily. See if I get ill and I don't go to the gym and don't eat properly for like 2 weeks, my bum just like shrinks down. Obviously it very quickly like pops back out, but it just needs fed and trained. My bum is the first thing to go when I'm unwell. Adam's always like, Steph, are you good? I know you're ill, but a couple of squats wouldn't kill you. But yes, I actually do not have a bum, and I definitely lost it postpartum as well. So after having Blake, I do think it's breastfeeding though, I don't think it's down to pregnancy. Throughout my whole pregnancy I felt like I kept my bum so well. I was just like, oh, these glutes are staying. Obviously I was adding fat over that, and I was just thinking, wow, I've just got this juicy peach, not realising there was just all this extra fat to then help with breastfeeding. Apparently, don't quote me on this, apparently your body stores extra fat on your body, particularly though on your glutes, to then utilise for breastfeeding. You can't be breastfeeding a baby when you're like 16% body fat, let's be real. So obviously I then breastfed Blake and then I also had 3 months off the gym postpartum because of complications. So combining those two things, my bum just vanished, as did most of my muscle mass, to be perfectly fair. I didn't find it particularly difficult to build the upper body back up, but my poor bum just pancaked, plateaued, squished down. You might as well ran over it with a steamroller, and that's just where we're at naturally, genetically, and that is it. However, I have been getting so many compliments on a couple of certain posts on my Instagram. One was in a dress when I was in Dubai. It was more so the ratios, like so many DMs like, how do you keep the waist and the abs but also grow the bum, because the bum is new, as in like it's come back. And then I also posted, what else did I post? Was it just a photo? I can't remember, but this is kind of current affairs of the glutes, if you like. And yeah, I've been getting a lot of love on it on Instagram, so I thought, why don't we just sit down. I did do a post yesterday on Instagram kind of talking about it, but obviously it was just in the caption, and I want to actually just sit and explain it as best as I can. So without further ado, here's how I personally grew my glutes without growing the rest of my body, i.e. how I actually built that small waist, lean, shredded abs. I don't have a massive bum, let's be very clear, right? I'm well aware I'm not walking around with the best bum on the planet, okay? But for me and my body and my size and my shape, this is my hard-earned booty, and this is how I got it. I'm going to give you 7 tips in this video on how to actually grow your glutes. It what genuinely works, right? I'm not going to give you BS here. I never do give you that, right? Anytime I talk about a new program or anything on my app or workouts or anything, it's always a, please remember this is a lifestyle change and your results will come over time. I'm so uncomfy. I think I need to sit sideways. So number one thing is, see these workouts people post online of 10-minute booty burners, 15-minute leg day, like all these little quick fixes. I'm saying that because they don't quick fix anything. They don't do anything. You might feel a wee burn because you've just done 50 kickbacks, but these kind of bodyweight exercises, at home workouts, really light weights, essentially just clickbait workouts, right? They do nothing. They do absolutely nothing for your body. Obviously they're great if maybe say you had, like, you were on holiday and you had literally no time to do anything, no time to work out, no, like, you're just whatever, and you thought, I've got a wee 15 minutes, I might just throw in a couple of wee exercises, fine. But if you're trying to actually build a body here, the 7 steps involved do not include 10-minute booty burners, quick fix. Try this for a week and you'll have a bum workout. They just don't work, let's be so real. The number one thing when it comes to training your body and having any kind of growth muscular wise anywhere, whether you're trying to grow your shoulders, your back, your bum, your legs, whatever, progressive overload is key. Now, progressive overload is essentially doing more than you did the last time. So more this week than you did last week, more this week than you did 2 weeks ago, etc. Now, this doesn't have to be that every single week you are increasing the weight, because that's going to get to a point where you can't do that. So if you can't increase the weight on an exercise, let's just take hip thrusts as an example. I was going to say squats, but I actually hate squats. I've got a pure distant relationship with squats lately, but let's just take hip thrusts. If you are doing a hip thrust once a week, let's just say you're putting in your workouts once a week, next week you want to be doing either more weight. If you can't add on more weight, you want to do more reps. If you cannot add more reps, you then add a further set. So let's just say the workout plan says 3 sets of hip thrusts, 8 to 10 reps, and you do like 3 sets of 10 reps with 60 kilo. Okay, next week I can't do more than 60 kilo, but I managed to do 12 reps and then 10 reps and then 9 reps. Then that's your progressive overload. If you can't increase the weight, you can't increase the reps, then okay, I'll throw in an extra set. Even if you get like 5 or 6 reps out of it, that's 5 or 6 reps more than you did last week. Progressive overload is absolutely key, and you want to make sure you do this on main exercises, okay? Which brings me to point number 2. Compound lifts are your best friend, and this is the easiest way to structure a workout. If you don't follow a workout program, you don't have an app, anything like that, you don't have a clue what you're doing, personally I think you should join one just to even just get you started and get you familiar. My body recomp course is 12 weeks long, it's on my app, and it's the best thing since sliced bread. The feedback has been disgustingly insane. I'm so proud of it, and if you need a proper hand-holding experience to get the body of your dreams in the next 6 months to a year, yes, it takes that long, join the course. Anyway, compound lifts are lifts that use more than one joint or muscle group at the same time. So big moves like squats, deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, lunges, overhead presses, hip thrusts, bench presses, all these kind of things, like your big exercises. You want to always start your workouts with these, and those are the ones that you want to progressive overload on first. So obviously you want to be putting as much effort into these lifts as possible. So if I was to structure a leg day, I would have 2 to 3 main lifts and then 1 to 2 accessory exercises, okay? Accessory exercises are the ones that are maybe, they're just additional work. They only really work maybe one muscle group. They're very targeted. So for example, if we're talking about leg day, which we're talking about in this video, that would be like a glute kickback, for example. Or even like a machine, if you were maybe doing like a hamstring curl or an abductor machine, something like that. Just something that really kind of targets and focuses more on one area rather than like an overall kind of body thing. If I was to structure a workout randomly off the top of my head, I would do 3 main lifts, 2 main lifts, 1 kind of in the middle one, and then 1 or 2 accessories. I never do more than 5 exercises in a workout these days, more so on a time crunch, more so because I also go at like 6 in the morning, and by that point I'm like, I need to lie down and eat a meal. That's where I'm at. So you don't have to be going crazy. So compound lift versus accessories. I'm doing a lot of hand action here, right? Blum, 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 blum. I would start with, right now this is what I would be doing. I would do a hip thrust, a barbell hip thrust. I would do a Romanian deadlift. I would throw in some kind of lunge, whether that's a Smith machine lunge, a Bulgarian split leg squat, walking lunges. Lunges are delicious. They are disgusting, but they are delicious. Then I would throw in something like maybe perhaps a leg extension machine or a hamstring curl machine and a cable kickback. That would be my workout if I was to go and train legs right now, and I was kind of having a bit of a booty focus, and I would go hard, 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 try my best and really just kind of get those last 2 exercises just like doing as much as you can. But obviously by that point your tank's pretty low on energy and all the rest of it. That's point number 2. Compound lifts are your best friend. None of this just wee namby-pamby wishy-washy nonsense of your 10-minute booty burners in the corner of your house with no equipment. It doesn't work. Point number 3 will be form. I have this written on my phone so I didn't miss anything. Form over everything. I was a victim. This used to be the way I would train. I would just pick as heavy a weight as I possibly could and I would just go for it just because I was like, oh, if you lift heavier you're going to do better, and etc, etc. That is not how you do a cable kickback. This is how you do a cable kickback. The first one, I'm hurting my back, I'm not engaging my core, I'm not using mind muscle connection, the glutes aren't doing anything, it's my hip just swinging my leg back and forward, it's doing absolutely nothing. Whereas now, like my cable kickback weight for example is so low because it is an exercise where you're not exactly going to get really strong on it realistically. So I was always banging the weight up and just trying to go as heavy as possible, looking like a buffoon. Okay, a buffoon with a pancake bum. But now, really like we know what we're doing and we've got the peach to prove it. So sucking in your core, making sure your core is always engaged in your lifts, and if you don't know how to do that, basically breathe in, fill up your stomach like as much of a beach ball as you can, and then see when you breathe out, draw that belly button into your spine, hold it, and that's when you're doing your kind of hardest part of the exercise. So your form needs to be on point, it needs to be mind muscle connection, you need to feel what you're actually doing, otherwise you're not really doing anything. You're just going to hurt yourself and get an injury at the end of the day. When it comes to building muscle, frequency is key, but overtraining is also a thing. Personally, I do 2 days a week upper body and 2 days a week lower body. That is as much as I can commit to at this stage in life. I don't like these, but I need a drink. And honestly, it works perfectly for me. I don't get burnout, I don't feel, I mean I do get DOMs, but I don't get like horrendous DOMs where I'm like, oh my god, my body's just knackered and I can't work out for a very long time because I've just overdone it. Like I get plenty of rest, plenty of recovery. That my amount of frequency twice a week on each upper versus lower body is perfect. So 2 leg days per week, one slightly more glute focused and one slightly more like quad focused, but both have crossovers of each in them. So if I was doing more of a quad focused day, I would do like maybe squats, a leg press, leg extension, then I'd throw in something like a glute bridge machine, maybe a lunge, maybe a kickback, maybe a hyper extension, something like that. It's not rocket science, but I do want to make this video to like break it all down for you to make it as simple as possible. The one where I feel like most people struggle is the food, because there's so much misconception and so much misinformation around, oh but I'm trying to like lose weight, so I don't want, so people try and eat 1200 calories to get abs, but you can't build a bum on 1200 calories. Like you cannot do it, it's absolutely impossible unless you're like 10. I'm pretty sure Blake eats 1200 calories, I'm not even joking. 1200 calories a day for an adult. This is what I look like eating 1200 calories a day. Do you see a bum? Do you see her anywhere? Gone, vamos, disappeared. No muscle mass, no strength, no period, no energy, bad skin, bad hair, bad mood. 1200 calories is not for a fully grown woman. It is not for a fully grown woman. You need to eat to grow your muscles, but you need to eat to support your hormones, your fertility, your reproductive organs and health, your hair, your skin, your nails, all of it. Energy, like sleep, everything in your body requires energy, and you get that from your food, okay? And food is the most important thing. And I'm not just talking about it because it's easy to be like, oh well, I'll just eat loads then if I want to grow a bum. Obviously you want your nutrition to be on point. You want to make sure you're eating high protein, high fibre, whole foods mostly, but you know I'm a fan of soul food as well. And just making sure that maybe if you're eating 3 to 4 times a day, you're hitting between 30 and 40 grams of protein each time. You're not going to have an issue getting your protein in as a vegan, on a plant-based diet, or any way, shape or form, if you kind of just follow those rules and just keep it as simple as possible. That's the thing that we're doing on the meal plan on my 12-week body recomposition course. Sorry, I keep talking about it, but honestly, it took me so long to make it, and It is the best looking course I've ever seen in my life, because along with weekly, I do videos like this every single week, but on like a specific topic, so it's really educational. You're really going to learn a lot, but the meals on it are meal prep style every week, and it's literally simple meal prep recipes, like nothing overly complicated, nothing that will take more than 30 minutes to do. I encourage you to do meal prep like once to twice a week. Like, here's your 3 meals, just make them ahead of time. We've got a WhatsApp group and girls are just posting their pictures in it constantly of all their food, and I'm like, yes, this is how you get results. So eating to grow is absolutely key. And then point number 6, rest. I had a good conversation with a girl on Instagram the other day. She would message me, basically she was just saying how she is working out like basically every single day. She's doing 20,000 steps every single day. She's eating but like just below maintenance, but she's lost her period. She's skinny fat, she can't build the muscle mass, and she can't really get rid of that last layer of fat. Basically, she wasn't taking any rest days. She was no room for recovery. She wasn't eating enough to allow her body to recover. Thus she lost her period as well, because she was overtraining. Doing more does not get you more results. Doing it properly does. Rest and recovery is one of the most important parts of your journey. And for me personally, I take obviously 3 days a week when I don't go to the gym. I do walk on those days. Like, I take Blake out a walk every single day, same time, to put her to sleep. It's around 30 to 40 minutes. I used to say 20 to 30, but she's been kind of fighting it a wee bit lately. I think I might be losing the nap advantage. But yes, the walking every single day, I don't think I quite hit 10,000 steps. I'm maybe around 8,000, but for me, I go to the gym 4 times a week. They are the most structured workouts. They're there with intention. I know how to progressive overload. I know how I'm training, why I'm training. I know exactly what exercises I'm doing, and I know what works for me and my body, and what actually works for most people if you just do it right. And then on those other 3 days, I don't do any intense exercise other than walking. And honestly, I'm actually really grateful for Blake and this like walking thing, because I never did any cardio previously, and I feel like I'm leaner now postpartum. Obviously I'm like 2 years in now, but then I was pre. I had more muscle mass pre-baby, but I'm leaner now. We're going to build that muscle mass back, don't you worry. My strongest part is my back. Oh, hello. My strongest part is my back for sure, even though this video is about glutes. I just had to throw that in there because I started thinking I was just a big skinny bean, and you forget about your progress. Final thing, point number 7 is time. And everybody hates to hear this, because they say, how long did it take you to grow your glutes? How long did it take you to get abs? How quickly did you do this? How quickly did you do that? There is no time frame that I can tell you, because every single person has a different history, exercise history, lifestyle history, eating history, different metabolisms, different everything. Every single person's body is so different that you couldn't tell somebody a time frame even if you wanted to. But when it comes to building muscle mass, building an athletic body, a strong body, a fit, lean, healthy body, your minimum time frame you're looking at is, like, absolute minimum is 3 months. Realistically, 6 months to a year. And that sounds so long to some people, but for example, my courses that I do are 12 weeks long, so that's 3 months. You could do one of them and that's a real big kickstart, and you're like, oh my god, I know exactly where I need to be going and what I need to be doing. I'm going to continue this even further for another 3 months. You're already 6 months in, and you have gained so much in 6 months that, like, the time is going to pass anyway, okay? People that obviously don't want to, like, commit to things because it's going to take a long time, that makes no sense to me because the time is going to pass anyway. And listen, there are choices to be made in life. That's going to get a bit deep, but you might think, oh, I don't want to commit to 6 months of changing my lifestyle because it's too hard. But you've got to choose your hard, because that to you might be hard, but you're going to get results. It's going to be hard, but you're going to be happy that you did it. Whereas if you don't do it, you're going to not be happy with the way you look. You're not going to enjoy your life. You're not going to look at yourself every day and be like, wow, I feel, which you should look at yourself and love yourself. But if you're unhappy with the way you look and the way you feel, that's also hard to wake up every single day and feel that. So either you do nothing, the time passes anyway, and it's hard to live with that choice of not changing to be the person you want to be, or you just suck it up and put in the work. It's not actually that much work. It's 4 hours a week in terms of working out, and that is hard, but you're going to be so happy that you did it. I'm going to get that printed off and put on my wall for myself because that was just so deep. But yes, that is my experience with growing my glutes, and I hope that it made sense to you. Don't forget, you can join my app. You can join my app. It's not just for vegans, it's for everybody. If you're really truly looking to change your body shape and change your lifestyle forever, first link in my bio. Come and try it out for free for 3 days. If you don't like it, then that's fine, but you will like it. And then I'll see you in 6 months with your absolutely amazing results.